What's a good example of a great thing that ends up disappointing you?
Two chicks at the same time, man.
No. Something horror related. Let's see. Oh, I got it. Seeing a movie you ended up really liking, but realizing it's not gonna make much money because it was released in select theaters. Speaking of which, I saw Stop Motion the other day. Let's go ahead and do a non-spoiler review, but first, I demand that you get spooky. Stop motion is not misleading with its title. It's about a chick who is really into making stop motion films. Our main girl, Ella, is helping out her mother who can no longer do the physical part of the job. Ella struggles personally with her own ideas and stories, or better said, the lack thereof, but when her mother's condition takes a turn for the worse, Ella is forced to flex her,
imagination.
So let's do the usual. Take a very thin knife, cut deep, and see what we're working with. The movie stars Aisling Franciosi? Yeah, I'm sure I butchered that. You may recognize her from The Last Voyage of the Demeter, or not, cause that movie didn't do very well, which is a damn travesty. But something you may recognize her from is The Nightingale, a Western horror film that a lot of people talk about, but I haven't seen yet for myself. It stars a few other people, but the story really just focuses on Aisling's character, Ella. Though I feel I would be doing a disservice if I didn't mention that the hottest witch from the Witcher series...
You look hungry. Would you like a taste? What do you think?
Oh yeah, that's the one. She's in this too, but like I mentioned before, not very much. So the acting is good, the effects are good, the lighting, editing, camera angles, and blah blah blah.
Who fucking cares?
This movie is marketed as a creepy movie. So, is it creepy? Absolutely. As the movie progresses, gradually, we see more and more of the stop motion film that Ella is making. And once we get the first look at the film that she is working on, it slowly builds so we see more and more of it. And I don't just mean more of the story, but there's more of the stop motion film itself. It lingers longer every time it gets shown on the screen. Or more importantly, when it's time to get creepy, which I was a big fan of. And the story that's actually told in the stop motion film, I liked. It's nothing super complex. If you are familiar with stop motion, most of them are very short stories. It's not like her idea is the fucking Lord of the Rings, but all made out of clay. To give you some perspective, the movie Mad God is almost all stop motion animation. It's an 83-minute movie that took 30 fucking years of just production. Keep in mind, that does not include post-production. So when you hear 30 years of production, they weren't actually done. There was more shit to do. Don't get me wrong, Mad God is a very creepy and creative film, but there really is not much of a story or even main characters to follow. It's a vast world that is kind of connected, but also not. Anyways, so our girl Ella is making a short film that would only last a few minutes, but would still take days to make. And what she made? Yeah, I'd watch it. Just the little short film itself. I'd watch it a second time. If there were other stories made in that same universe, sign me up for a subscription to whoever is making it. By the way, this is a Shudder flick, just another good reason to give Shudder a shot with your subscription dollars. Shudder is not paying me to say this. I'm not even monetized, so why the fuck would they? But if I were to divide up all of the things Shudder has either made or has the current rights to show on their streaming service, I would add this to the worth subscribing pile. By the way, feel free to drop me a sub. It may help YouTube push me to the top of more recommended video listings. YouTube, I insist you help out my little channel.
If you insist.
I feel like I wouldn't be a genuine, fake professional film critic if I didn't talk about the negatives of this film. There is a twist in the movie, and if you think about it, it's pretty obvious pretty early on in the flick. Now, the twist or reveal isn't that deep, so it's not like a big holy shit kind of twist, just kind of a realization that you could spot earlier than the movie wanted to tell you. And because it's not that deep of a twist, like once they actually do accept it or anything like that, it just makes it a little lackluster. Like it's just, it could have been a lot more special and personal to the main character, but it just wasn't. So if I were to give this movie like digs, this would be one of them. It's kind of hard for it to not be. People do die in this film, and it is very in your face and bloody, which is great, but there is one kill that came a little too easy. As it was happening, I was like, that may be a smidge tougher to pull off than this movie is portraying. Not that I would know how to take a life, and I have no idea how long I've been around or how many lives I've taken. You know, it's just numbers, and you just wrap it up. If you are lucky enough to have this movie be playing in a theater near you, and you like slower, artsy, creepy kind of horror movies, go give it a watch. Thanks for watching, and by all means, click the links to watch some of my other reviews, either something for 2024 or my best of 2023. Stay spooky.